The battlefield is often associated with tales of heroism and valor, where soldiers put their lives on the line to protect their nation. Yet the fight doesn't end when the guns fall silent. Far from the front lines, another battle rages on, a quiet crisis of veteran suicide. It's one that, since 2001, has claimed more than 120,000 lives, more than any military conflict since Vietnam. The fight continues, and we, as veterans and supporters, are called to action. Veterans face an alarming 57% higher risk of suicide compared to civilians. For those who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, even without deployment, the risk spikes by 48%. Suicide is now the second leading cause of death among post-9/11 veterans, accounting for 22.3% of all deaths. In 2015, over 70% of veteran suicides occurred outside the Veterans Health Administration (VHA) care, further emphasizing the need for broad-based community support. The transition back to civilian life also proves difficult for many, which can exacerbate mental health challenges. More than 40% of veterans express a high level of difficulty transitioning. Consequently, these individuals are 5 times more likely to experience suicidal ideation. It's a stark reality. Many who've bravely faced enemies abroad are now battling their own inner demons at home. As they transition back to civilian life, veterans often encounter hurdles that may seem insurmountable. Over 80% of post-9/11 veterans feel the public doesn't comprehend the difficulties they face when transitioning. Moreover, the majority of civilian organizations lack veteran-specific recruiting programs, with more than 50% offering no onboarding or transition support to veteran hires. These challenges extend beyond employment. Approximately 35% of veterans struggle to pay their bills in the early years after leaving the military, and homelessness is not an uncommon plight. In fact, veterans account for over 9% of all adults experiencing homelessness in the U.S. The system, as it stands, has room for significant improvements to support our veterans adequately. In response to this crisis, several corporations, foundations, and veteran-focused organizations have launched a monumental initiative: Face the Fight. USAA, the Humana Foundation, and Reach Resilience, an Endeavors Foundation, have come together with an initial investment of $41 million to provide grants supporting programs aimed at preventing veteran suicides. Face the Fight aims to break the stigma associated with seeking mental health support and intensify the conversation around veteran suicide. With strong, tangible goals, the initiative aspires to halve the veteran suicide rate by 2030. A coalition that unites USAA, Humana Foundation, Reach Resilience, and other organizations, Face the Fight channels resources into 3 primary avenues: expanding suicide prevention and training programs. The initiative will fund the growth of programs geared towards recognizing and mitigating the risk of suicide among veterans. Establishing clinical fellowships. Aiming to improve the availability of mental health care for veterans, Face the Fight will support the development of a robust clinician workforce, trained to understand and address the unique struggles veterans face. Supporting veteran service organizations. The initiative will also fund resources for legal groups and veteran service organizations assisting veterans, ensuring they receive the comprehensive support they deserve. The fight against veteran suicide is everyone's fight. As Brandon Carter, Executive Vice President of USAA, puts it, "We are losing our military post-transition at an alarming rate, but it also can happen in minutes and seconds. It's a reminder that in this battle, every second counts, every effort matters, and every life saved is a victory. Whether you're a veteran, a supporter, or an organization, there's a role for you in Face the Fight." Visit wefacethefight.org to learn more about the initiative, find resources, and join the fight. Let's band together to protect our heroes in their time of need, to ensure that their transition to civilian life is not a battle, but a triumphant homecoming. The fight is on. Will you answer the call? We will face the fight. Together. The Department of Veterans Affairs, VA, has declared big plans to combat the issue of homelessness among veterans. They aim to provide housing for at least 38,000 veterans in 2023. To make this possible, the Department of Housing and Urban Development is getting ready to give out $3.1 billion through a program called the Continuum of Care, COC. This money will help fight homelessness for everyone, and some of it will go to the VA to be used at its local medical centers. This is the largest amount of money given in a single year to the COC program. This program works with community groups, nonprofits, and local governments to help people without homes. The VA also announced they will give more than $11 million in grants to public groups and nonprofits. These grants will help fund a new program that offers legal help to veterans who are at risk of eviction or dealing with child support cases and other legal problems. The VA Secretary, Dennis McDonough, mentioned that veterans often struggle with homelessness due to legal issues. Therefore, helping veterans with these legal problems will significantly impact the fight against veteran homelessness. He explained that legal support could make the difference between a veteran becoming homeless or having a stable, safe house. Another $58 million in grant money will help veterans rejoin the workforce. This is part of a program that tries to get to the root causes of homelessness. Last year, the VA was able to house more than 40,000 veterans, which exceeded the goal they had set for 2022. Despite this progress, the number of homeless veterans in America is still a major concern. In 2022, around 33,136 veterans were homeless. President Biden is trying to decrease homelessness by about 25% by 2025. His proposed budget for 2024 includes more than $10 billion to fight homelessness, which is about a 6% increase from the last budget. He promised during his State of the Union address to do more to help veterans and keep them housed. A new initiative called Boot Camp will be launched. It aims to help veterans transition from homelessness to permanent housing quicker. This program will offer services like learning job skills, participating in apprenticeships or on-the-job training, and getting placed in jobs. The money being given to the COC program can be used in many ways, like for rental assistance, supportive services, or improving technology and data sharing. This will all help veterans struggling with homelessness. In addition to all this, a first-of-its-kind grant of $11.5 million will provide legal help to veterans. This could assist veterans with landlord disputes, court proceedings like child support and custody, and even estate planning. All these steps are taken with the firm belief that the term homeless veteran should not exist, and every veteran deserves a safe and stable. In a strategic move, Veterans Affairs officials are embarking on a comprehensive public awareness campaign over the next 5 weeks, aiming to maximize participation in signing up for new military toxic exposure benefits before the looming August deadline for retroactive payouts. The focal point of this endeavor is the Summer Vet Fest, which is part of an ongoing $11.4 million initiative associated with the Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxics Act, commonly known as the PACT Act. The PACT Act, a significant benefits legislation endorsed by lawmakers last summer, holds the potential to provide new health care or disability payouts to as many as 1 in 5 veterans currently residing in the United States. Under the PACT Act, veterans can qualify for presumptive benefit status for 12 types of cancer and 12 respiratory illnesses linked to burn pit exposure during the Gulf War, the war in Afghanistan, and the war in Iraq. Moreover, veterans who served in Vietnam can be eligible for benefits related to hypertension and monoclonal gammopathy of undetermined significance, MGUS, while those who served in certain locations in the 1960s and early 1970s can receive compensation for radiation-related illnesses. VA Secretary Dennis McDonough expressed his commitment, stating, "There are millions of veterans and survivors across America who are eligible for new health care and benefits, and we will not rest until every one of them gets what they've earned." That's the essence of the Summer Vet Fest, educating veterans, their families, and survivors, and urging them to apply without delay. Since the PACT Act was signed into law on August 10, 2022, more than 660,000 veterans have already applied for benefits, with the department disbursing over $1.4 billion. According to federal law, veterans who apply for PACT Act payouts within 1 year of the bill signing potentially qualify for retroactive benefits dating back to that specific date. Conversely, veterans who enroll after August 9, 2023, will only receive payouts retroactive to their date of filing. Veterans Affairs officials underscore the importance of the July outreach campaign, as filing before the August 9 deadline enables veterans awarded toxic exposure disability benefits to potentially receive tens of thousands of dollars more in payouts. Over the past 12 months, department staff have organized similar outreach efforts, including a highly impactful PACT Act Week of Action in December, during which VA hosted numerous local information events nationwide. The forthcoming outreach push will encompass a range of initiatives, such as new online advertisements, public service announcements, and events across all 50 states, including Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. These events will provide veterans with opportunities to apply for PACT Act-related benefits, enroll in VA healthcare, undergo screenings for toxic exposure injuries, and gain comprehensive knowledge about available VA services.